But yeah, how can we not cut off? It's so easy to cut off people.
Cut off.
Versus, okay, how will we build bridges into worlds? So, yeah.
I just want a couple grand and make the family proud. I'm sick of penny pinching like a foster. I need some pension off these writtens. They always want a discount, but don't add on to my distance. I do this all in love, and best believe it's still a business. Can't flip commas off your comments, I can't compound off your interest. Can't be cold-hearted though, got my course from the stove. Had to cope with the portions of pain.
Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. You are the number one podcast for families seeking to end generational dysfunction.
We in generational dysfunction, baby, man. Everything good, everything good, everything going smooth, but not. Everything got a rough edge, but the rough edge is not. Cause I go past it, you know what I mean? I don't know what made me just say that. That was just something I had to get off my chest.
Speaking in parables,
you know what I mean?
You got to. You gotta go past the edges.
Yeah, you feel me? So, man, we got another great one, baby. We got another great one, baby, man. Hey, let them know how you feeling, Rome. How you feeling, man? Let them know, man.
It's amazing. You know, I told them don't follow everybody else's family because you got to lead your lineage, you know? And I'm so excited. Like, the first thing that, like, really had me empowered and inspired by the work y'all was doing when I put up to that podcast I had, the live one at Ujama's bookstore. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I love that opportunity so much.
Appreciate it.
See y'all share your hearts vulnerably, but then also have tough conversations, both within your own individual stories, then you're opening up for Q&A, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I be catching snippets here and there on social media, and every now and then I watch the full one, and it's like it's always so much valuable. One conversation and also information. Like that one nugget Sean also dropped in my track where he said, all you need to do to get family together, you ask, he's like,
I got that from Cuz.
Yeah, you say you need a time, food, space.
That's it.
And it's not that hard to get family together. And it's
That's
like, it's so easy to complicate it because of the fears you have given the background, depending on people you fell out with, other family members that might not like each other, all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just, I love the work y'all doing. I wish I would have made the cookout in the summertime too. I was mad because I was like, man, I missed the food.
It was
I
lit.
missed the cookout vibes, you know. I was like, man, but you know.
Man, it was lit. We having another one next year too, man. And you can come up there and rap, bro. You see how I just threw that on you? You see how I just threw that on you? Yeah, you can come up there and have it for real, man. You can do come up there and do your thing for real.
Say less. I'm there.
Ooh, that's gonna be.
I'm for real, bro. We can say less then. Shit, we can get it going, man. But I want them to know you, man, because on here we got what we call lineage leaders, man. Lineage leaders is people who we believe you are. That's why we got you on the podcast. It's people who are leading their lineage, their family in any way, 36720, meaning whether it's financial, spiritually, through investments, through yoga, through what you like to do, health, all type of ways, finance, any type of way, even if it's just drinking one bottle of water every day. You know, just emotionally intelligent. So, man, let them know. How are you leading your lineage? What you got going on? How are you leading your lineage, brother?
Well, first off, I'm a mold building, room bonding byproduct of Black American schizophrenia. And I create bold music to fight your fears to the sounds of blackness, mental health, and Jesus until the world hears us. So it's a lot of components that I tackle surrounding the music. Because within my family, like my context, my mom's had a mental illness, right? And so growing up, the fallouts that can happen from that, you know, having a situation where she had tried to end me and my sister's life, and then we had to go stay with my grandma. And then growing up to where she got kind of stabilized again, but then relapsed. So there's been kind of this turmoil within my family history, my family narrative. And so often the messaging I received growing up was suffer in silence, right? And so for me, music has been a tool of you know what I'm saying, speaking out loud, becoming vocal, becoming bold. So I found that as an aspect of my life where it's like, okay, mental illness, mental health, blackness, because that wasn't within my community, people I grew up around, it wasn't common to talk about that type of stuff. And then my faith in Jesus informed that, my spirituality. So when it comes to the music, the spaces I create, despite having instances where I felt a misfit or I felt out of place or I feel like nobody understood what I was going through, I'm like, man, I feel like God put me on this earth and kept me alive to give people that voice, even in times where I feel like I was voiceless, where I was powerless. So my main thing I do is I do performances, I write songs, I record, and then like recently I'm doing an artist residency too, where I'm teaching workshops, right? Yeah, so I got blessed with the opportunity. I just started doing workshops randomly, not randomly, but I wanted artists to come together, create, build, kind of find their sound, their voice. And so then somebody approached me like, yo, we want you to do some songwriting workshops for teens with this church plant out of Hallville. So I was like, you know what? And they was talking about it's paid too. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll politic with you for the next 6 months or so. So blessed with that opportunity. But yeah, my whole goal and my hope is just be that voice that, one, I feel like I didn't have, and I feel like people, you know, you ever hear a song, you just like, man, that really spoke to me.
Yeah, hell
or
yeah.
that described my experience perfectly. I felt like I ain't know how to feel. I ain't know what to say. But they just described that. I was about to end my life. But this song stopped me from doing that.
Shit.
That's my vision. That's my goal. I'm one of those artists where when I got into it, right?
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I got back from this camp after I had a transformational experience coming to my faith. And I got the opportunity to rap in front of my peers. And then the first time I ever experienced death was my grandma. My grandma Sarah, rest her soul. She was like 97, so long life, right? Yeah. Long life. But it was the first time I experienced death.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, this grief, this pain, like it hits different. The first time, the first person you ever lost.
Real talk.
And so I wrote a song about it, and then as I was about to perform, I'm like, man, I don't know if people really gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, we presented something that's like new and like dear, close to you. Like maybe how y'all felt launching the podcast. You might be like, people really gonna rock with like how I want them to rock with it.
Yeah.
And so, but when I did it, I looked out into the crowd and like tears filling people's eyes and people coming up, talking to me afterwards, talking about the people they lost recently. And I'm just like, man, bro, like this moment, this experience, this space here that was curated, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is create those moments where it's like, I feel like nobody will understand what I went through. And then all of a sudden, now we have a place of belonging. So that's my main goals, is just continue to curate those moments, those spaces, and become a voice for the voices, let people be bold and fight their fears. So that's maybe a condensed a little bit. I'm sure we'll get into more, but yeah, I love just want to share, let people feel free to share their hearts, lean into their stories, find their voices, and just do that through the music. So, yeah.
That's so dope, bro. Thank you for sharing that.
For real.
And also, thanks for giving
platform.
us our flowers, too, to begin the show, bro. That touched me as well. So I appreciate you for that. Let's get into it, right? When we think about family, what does family mean to you?
That's a great question. What does family mean to me? Family means no matter what, I'm gonna be there.
Give me an example. I love that.
So, my guy Alvin, I met in college at Ball State. I started out as a mentor relationship to him, but eventually, I feel like once we started living together, and then he also did music too, we became family over time because he was there. Okay, this is a quick, not super quick story. It's a funny story, somewhat funny story. Y'all might not laugh, but it's It's true story. It's true story. It's true story.
It's your time, brother.
Here's what happened. So I had a show 2 years ago, right? out of town. I had just moved into a new spot. I recently went through a divorce. Mm-hmm. I had moved. I was down bad money-wise, all that. And then I went to the show my first time out of town, just moved to my new spot. Came back, and then my neighbors was like, yo, you heard there's dumb stuff in the alley last night? And I was like, oh, ooh, that's crazy, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? Why you kind of brush stuff off, people talking to you. I walk into my house. Everything is everywhere. Like TV busted, clothes everywhere, all my studio equipment gone, my files that I had, like songs I had for 5 years, so to speak. Yeah. Gone. You feel me? So he's the first person I call. Yeah. I'm going off in the alley, you know what I'm saying? I'm the best word. I'm livid. Yeah. I want to use that word, high level word, livid. And he pulls up the first time, kind of helps calm me down, get me clear. And I hate doing this, but we called the police. Mm-hmm. He's like, yo, who, woo-de-woo. And then like, yeah, we think we know who might have did it. Mm-hmm. So thankfully, this is crazy. We got most of my stuff back. Mm-hmm. They found it in a trash can. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. And so we was cooling, and I was like, man, this is dope. You know what I mean? So I leave. I actually had a date that day I got stood up for. We're not going to talk about that. It did.
They lost.
They lost, man. I felt it, though. I was like, dang, man, the worst day. Then I went to a show by this artist named Fox Legend. Shout out, it's this dope artist in the city named Fox Legend. He had a show that day, so I'm like, I'm lifting my spirits up. So I get back, have me some McDonald's, you feel me? And then I look in the crib and it's like the lights is on. I'm like, I don't know, turn the light on. And then I slowly go up to the door and like it's like jarred. You feel me? Something's blocking it. I open up the door and it's this dude in my kitchen cooking meatloaf. Oh like it's grown dude. So I like turn up, I run towards, he runs out the back, he goes down the street, and then he like bolts over, and it's like glass windows broken everywhere. It's dripping blood on the sink. I thought actually he had like cut himself on the window, but it was actually my neighbor told me he had shot somebody earlier because he thought they was coming up to the crib. Yeah. But apparently he had got shot, came in, cooked the meatloaf, was chilling. But the worst part is yeah. The worst part, this is the worst part. I had my favorite pair of white pants it's these all white pants with black stripes on the side, these joggers. He had dookied all up in them, like to the point of no return. It was disgusting. Yeah, I know you laugh. It's really bad, man. So I called my guy again, like, bro, you never believe what just happened.
I know you like, man, what the fuck? I know you like, this shit was a movie.
It was. I call him again, and bro is there in like 15 minutes to just be there. He actually let me stay at his spot too. I called my actual brother, and I called another one of my homies. But to me, it's like moments like that where it was, we had a solid relationship before that, but it was an intentionality too, to where it's like, yo, I'm gonna lock with you for life, right? And I feel like there's the degree of both the narratives and the family we're placed within that we're called to care for and be with. But then there's also that broader sense of family. It's like, nah, it can be people that are, I say, called to you, you know what I'm saying, brought to you for times in your life where just like, man, it's you're in need of a solid brother, a solid family, as I say. So long story short, I know that kind of took a roundabout, but I say that's been my expanded definition of family. Because for me, kind of like I was saying, growing up, I've had very traumatic and dysfunctional experiences of family, and that caused me to mistrust. And so when it's approaching people outside of it, it's like I don't even know fully who to trust. You know what I mean? But I think over time my heart been more softened as I realized like, nah, there's like you're loved, you're cared for. You know what I'm saying? You got a purpose here, and you got family here. You know what I'm saying? That you can gain outside of it. So that's kind of my long-winded.
See, look, I'm saying this from experience, man, because like, you know, I'm asking this because from a different angle. See, I had a hard time with man, you know, my life, man. So it'd be hard for me to trust man. You know what I mean? Real. A lot of people in my life that was solid was women, bro. You know what I mean? That's what would be kind of confusing me about the gender war out here. But anyway, man, a lot of people. So I'm asking that, man, because did you have, you know, growing troubles, you know, because I grew up with one of my guys who didn't have his moms either. You know, I realized he kind of had this problem. Did that kind of fuck up your relationships with women? Did it kind of like play a role with trusting women? Have you ever thought about that?
Oh yeah, I definitely say to a large degree it did. Yeah, to a large degree it did. I think the thing that was helpful for me was my sister, right?
Yeah.
So having my sister there with me through it.
Yeah.
And then also being close with my grandma during that time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the gaslighting, emotional manipulation I might experience from my mom, I realized, you know what I'm saying, when it's a mental illness, as a kid, you're not necessarily distinguishing like, oh, this ain't fully them, this is like that. You know what I mean? It's a sickness. Like you just taking stuff in, you're like, dang, like, how you gonna do this to me? Or like you're confused, you're conflicted, because this is supposed to be the person that loves you, right? Yeah. But you know, it's kind of like, say you have a bad relationship, you fall out. I'm sure you might have that one romantic relationship where you're like, oh, I don't know if I don't know how I'm gonna get past this.
Yeah, I've been married for 10 years, brother.
You feel me? So it's like, but over time you're like, nah, like there's solid people out there, and because relationships like one's my sister and with my grandma, like just showing me like, there's man, women are one of God's greatest gifts. You feel me? Like,
that's a fact.
And
shout out to the women.
Yeah, shout out to women. Shout out to black
See, y'all be talking all that shit. They be talking all that like it ain't no good man. You looking at 3 good men right here, but one of them, you know what I mean? My fault. I'm already tooken, but we looking, if you know what I mean. I'm tooken, but I'm looking. We tooken, but we looking, if you know what I'm cooking. If you know what I'm cooking. No, we ain't. Hey, we gonna keep that, man. We gonna keep that. We gonna, no, I ain't cutting. I'm the one who edited the shit. I ain't cutting it. I might highlight it. We might start this motherfucker like that.
I love my cousin and his ebonics. I love it.
Hey, man.
His ebonics is crazy.
Hey, for real, man. But no. Hey, I wanted to get back to this too earlier, what you said at the beginning, man. How you said a lot of your music relates to you. You know what I mean? A lot of the music you create, it tells your life story and whatever you went through. What was one of your most songs that you feel that you put your most into it, and why, and what inspired that?
That's a great question. What's one of the songs I put the most into
that?
What inspired it?
Yeah.
3 songs. I say 3 songs is like I love them. It's this song called "Make Me Weep."
Yeah.
Right. I say it's my best song ever. I'm never gonna make a song like that. I feel like I probably will. I'm not gonna say never, but I love that song. I can listen to that song day and night to this day. And it's really just about everything we talk. It's a song written to my mom, where it goes like, "And you are a piece of me, and you always make me weep." And like that's literally just the hook back and forth. It's saying like no matter how far we've grown apart, how much pain we've experienced in the relationship, like that is my mom that I'm still gonna care for deeply.
Real talk.
And caused me to weep and cry about just thinking through like stuff she been through growing up. In our relationship that's been in so much turmoil, like I still love her and I still want to care for her, because you know what I'm saying, times where I'm growing up and she was homeless for a while, and I was trying to work jobs to see if a place I put her into type stuff. Just feeling helpless, you know what I'm saying? Feeling powerless. But realizing like that fuels a lot of my music and a lot of that broken relationship that I want to see some repair, but also with so much pain there. And it's this one line in there that says, time doesn't heal unless you addressing the wounds you conceal, letting the people around you approach and be part of the culture that's holding your tears. Because so often we think, just like they say time heals all wounds, right? I would disagree. I think time with intention, right? If you just let the wound fester, you are bleeding, you like, everywhere, you like, you might want to get that checked out, buddy.
Yeah.
But if you let people in, you know what I'm saying? If you let people say, okay, because even as I share, sometimes when I share about having that mental illness within my family, I don't expect anybody to understand.
Yeah.
Like, that's my base expectation.
Yeah.
But oftentimes I'm pleasantly surprised where people are like, nah, like my cousin had the same thing, or I'll never forget, I was in a car one time. This one dude, he's like a mentor to me. He was like, yeah, my mom and my grandma had that. So it's like a double. So it's like, you never know, if you choose to withhold your story, you might be preventing somebody else from being liberated in the same way that you experienced. So that's like my top song, I think, just because like that's when I first really started singing on songs, because I grew up like I like rapping more. I didn't really like singing, but it's the first one I feel like I really sang my heart on that. And I don't know, like I say, it's one of the shows I did last year when I did a short tour run. Saw somebody at the same time. Like I said, the reason why I do it, like somebody in the audience was crying and connected with. I'm like, yeah, this the one for me. This the top one for me. But then the second one I would say is between, well, it's like a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
It's this song called I Feel Abandoned. And it's just me breaking down. And it's a lot slower paced song. So the ones to me that I love is more heartfelt. I do like some of the hype, like, you know, because everybody love to like woo-de-woo, get
everybody like
that,
feeling good. But
I like this one, I Feel Abandoned, because it's not one of those raw ones where it's just like, it's real stripped down. It's some production, but it's just like my voice. And I'm just voicing like the first time in therapy where when my second therapist actually, she was asking me questions about how I felt about my mom and my pops getting divorced and the fallout and all that. And so I was describing a lot of things that happened, but one of the things she said is, okay, you've told me how your mom has felt. You told me like what your dad was going through, your sister, like your brother, all that, but you didn't tell me how you feel, right? How did that make you feel? And so, you know, I'm the type, I kind of like shut down, get defensive. So if the sex was near end anyway, so I'm like, so I just kind of shut it down. But then I laid down the track and I was like, I started writing. I'm like, yeah, I feel abandoned. Like, so the whole hook is just like, truth is I feel abandoned. Truth is I feel abandoned. Truth is I feel abandoned. Truth is I feel abandoned as your son. And like, it's the first time that I like expressed and came to terms with a lot of my striving with people, with relationships, with work, all that type of stuff is a fear that I'll be abandoned if I don't do enough. Whether that be from like when my mom's actually going through her situation where it didn't feel like she could care for me to the capacity that she could as a mom, or with my pops and him getting remarried. Like, I just expressed so much of those feelings that I never could really name until I realized, it's abandonment that's like the issue underlying of like why I can, because a lot of background, I feel like we got like a really strong work ethic. Like, we could work like 50, 60 hours type stuff, you know what I mean? And almost run ourselves to the ground. It's a narrative a lot of black people in America, right? We've been taught to work, a lot from slavery, all that. But it's the first times I came to terms with like, nah, it's with my particular situation, it's my feelings of abandonment that I don't want to be left. I don't want to be left alone. And these is the root causes. So I think the first verse is talking to my moms and the second verse talking to my dad. It's just like, and my homie Alvin, who I talked about earlier, he produced the track too. So it was just a it was one of those things like, and one of my mentors, his name's Chris Mack. I love that dude to death too. He like family too. It came together in such a way that like, man, this is like encapsulated all that I've ever felt underlying that kind of explain why I do things that I do. And then the third one is called Joy. And I know it's gonna sound like my songs are really sad. I promise I got like a mix of music, but these are like
you on your Rod Wave. You on your Rod Wave, sad
like Rod Wave type stuff. You feel me? But I mean, I just love. Like I said, this reason I got into music, I just want vulnerability.
Power in that.
So my favorite, my third favorite, I say is Joy, and it's this song that just, I mean, it's a situation. I was driving Uber for a good couple months.
Yeah,
you know, you meet all kinds of people. You meet all kinds of people.
I used to drive Lyft back in the day.
You used to drive Lyft?
Yeah, I did probably like 20-something, 20 probably. Yep,
said 2020?
Yeah, 2020, 2021.
Yeah, you probably met a lot of characters then.
Yeah, it's crazy characters. No, probably 2019. I don't know when. I did it for a hot second, though. But I met a hell of people.
Yeah, no, you meet a whole bunch of
people. Hell yeah.
I was done by 11 every time I went out, bro.
He said he was there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, if you go past like
you met the
10
freaks.
11, yeah, you
met the freaks that come on now.
I was good.
How late did you go when you?
Shit, I feel like I got enough money, goddamn it.
Hey, I'm not leaving.
I'm not scared. Hey, look, they motherfuckers hop in my car, boy. I get to jumping out this motherfucker and get to torching this bitch up. You better quit playing with me, man. At that time, I wasn't playing with nobody. I was rocking loaded, ready to go.
Hey, look, that's what you gotta do too.
For real, man.
Yeah, somebody be on some stuff.
That shit, that Uber, man, that was crazy, man. People was all type of shit. But no, man, go ahead and say what you were saying though.
What was I saying?
You were talking
The song. So yeah. Oh, so yeah. Now it's gonna take a dark turn. So it was one of the most heartbreaking rides I had. I can't lie. Right?
Yeah.
This lady. I'm thinking. You know how sometimes they have the quick little trips. It's like they like 5-minute type quick little run. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like this about to be my last stop. So I'm like about to just do a quick little get this one out the way. So I pick her up and she just got to go to the gas station. And so I can tell she like grunting in the background type stuff. I'm like, you all right? Like, what's going on? And then she just started saying like, yeah, I just had a miscarriage last week. But I'm blessed. And I'm like, nah, I mean, it's okay if it hurt. You feel me? It's like, nah, I'm blessed. And like, just need to get to the gas station real quick. I'm like, I'm taking her and I can hear her like grunting in the background. And then I'm like, yo, do you need some help? I can just go get it like myself. And she's just so insistent on doing it herself. And yeah, I get back. Like, it takes her a while to get back from the gas station. Woo-de-woo. I take her back. And then I'm trying to like help her out, but she's like, nah, I got it. I'm blessed. And I'm like, I'm at least pray for you. Like, if anything I do for you, she's like, yeah, definitely send me some prayers, but you know, everything's gonna be all right. God got me. But it's just like that's my last ride. And as soon as I get back to the crib, I just start weeping because I feel like so much of the pain Black women experience, in the strength of, I'm not saying it was complete mask, but I feel like the facade that we feel like we have to put on to not let nobody help us. Yeah. After a situation like that, you just lost, you know what I'm saying, losing a kid, losing a baby. I can't even imagine that. And as a mother, I don't know if she's a single mother either. But it was just heartbreaking to me. And so I wrote the first verse just about her in that situation, just how that impacted me. And then also I wrote the second verse about my own wrestles I was going through as I went through depression after I had gotten divorced, and then wrestling with suicidal ideations, and talking about my friend Alvin as well, who had been one of those voices that was like, really, I wouldn't be here without him. You know what I mean? If he wasn't somebody that I could call on and be like, yeah, bro, I don't know why I should keep going, because it feel like once again that abandonment just screamed louder when somebody else left me. So to me, that's like, and the song is just real. It's kind of stripped down too. It's like, how'd it go? It's like I should have brought it. When the nightfall lasts too long and the sunrise seems too far, and I can't stop crying, heart is on fire, burning the midnight oil. I pray joy come in the morning. Joy, please come and find me. I pray joy come in the morning. Joy, would you be in my grief? And it's like, you know how some people say like joy comes in the morning, whoop-de-whoop. Joy comes in the day. So I just kind of flip it and say like joy comes actually in that mourning process. It comes in the grief that you're experiencing. And so often, like with the situation with her, initially it's like we're taught to kind of suppress it and put on this strength, right? But you just got to be strong. You just got to, you know what I'm saying, push through, which, there's certain levels of, okay, you can gain strength and it'll build you up, but you also got to allow yourself to be broken down and let people in. And so I think that song is just like one of those that I always think back like, and I cried so much writing it too. Like I sang when I got back from that ride, I was broken. Then when I was writing it, I was recording it. It's like it was probably a good like 2-3 days. I was just like, man, this is like I don't know. It's a different feeling where I feel like, man, if somebody hears this song, I feel like, and then when the same thing, right? One of the dudes that when he heard it, when he came to the show, and he hit me up later saying like every time I listen to the song, just like tears flow, and it's like so much as, and this is a black dude too, right? So much of as black men, we feel like we gotta suppress that.
Real talk. But
to be able to facilitate that healing to the music and to be vulnerable in that way, it's like I said, I think that's, to me, that's when I feel most in line with my purpose. Is when those moments are created, those spaces are created. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when you put music out there, you're not gonna see how everybody responds to, reacts to it. But it's always a blessing when somebody tells me like, oh no, this is what it did. And it's like, I mean, that's all there was in the process for me. So to know that you connected with it, resonated, it's like.
And I want to ask you this, man, because it's a lot of questions I want to ask you, man. But I want to ask you this before I run off my mind, man. As a married man, I got, first of all, this is, I want to ask a couple questions because you just said a lot that I want to ask. But one of them is, before I get this off my mind, how long was you married? And second off, what, as a married man, I've been married for probably about like since 2016. You know what I mean? What can I do to stabilize my marriage? What would you do different to stabilize, like to keep it going? To how can you not get to that point? Because you know what I mean? How can it not get to that point? What would you do different as a man? What do you advise man to do?
That's a great question. So how did it get to that point, and what would I have done differently?
How long was you married too?
Oh, how long was I married? That was a question.
No, all three of those.
All three of those. So how long was I married? How did it get to that point, and what would I do different? So I was married for 8 months. It's like 8 or 9 months. It got to that point, I believe, from a lack of communication and not enough preparation, realizing our values. Like a lot of our values just wasn't aligned out the gate. So for me I feel like what I would have done differently. I feel like I would have been more intentional about getting to know her family and her. Right? Because we met actually in school in Muncie. Right, so a lot of our time dating and building and growing was like I said, I'm a lot more independent in a sense. Like, at least during the time I was dating her, it's like, so I was off on my own, you know what I'm saying, making my own money, woo-woo, all that. And family for me it's a value to protect and uphold.
Yeah.
But because I've never really been but like under somebody's authority and kind of listening to them for guidance as much.
Yeah.
As opposed to her, it's like her family's word was a lot more like, oh, like she listened to those voices heavily, which is good to have those influences. But I think we realized once we moved back, like from Muncie to Indianapolis, it's like I wasn't as ready to get to know and be around and, receive a lot of the same values from her family. Like, so I feel like if I would have taken more time to get to know the whole scope of her and her community beforehand, and yeah, because not to say that I still think no matter what, two people can make it. You feel me? If they're devoted to something greater than themselves. But
that's good.
If you choose to only view that person and not their influences, right? Because we're the sum of like our family backgrounds, right? A lot of our families influenced us and created us and shaped us in ways they don't even realize. And so for me, I think I was naive in thinking that, oh no, it's just us. Like, and because I'm used to kind of being just me too. So when I'm engaging with her and I'm tapping in, I'm back in the city. Also, because she was white, it was like, oh, the family culture was so different and I'm the type too, I like to speak my mind a lot more. So I'm not really one that's like kind of like a like I'm not really disagreeable, but I'm also very like I push back on some things. You feel me? So I feel like that's probably the number one is just I would have taken way more time beforehand to get to know the full scope of her, and not just viewed it as like, oh, because nobody's independent of anybody. Even though I felt like for so long, I'm saying just being off on my own, that I was kind of independent. So I would say those are the main things I would have done differently. Like I feel like, and that's like even beforehand of being like, okay, let me be more wise about, let me get to know and be around all your peoples. Because I mean, I brought around a lot of my peoples, and I thought, oh, since we cool like that's straight. Like most of my homies out there I was real tapped into a church too, so people that was like really close relationships. And then some of the family I brought around, like my grandma, my brothers, not my brothers, but my brother, my sister, even around my pop's son. She didn't get to meet my mom, I don't think, till like late. So yeah, and I had met her family a couple times, but I didn't. Like, you know how they say, like, when you marry a person, you're marrying the family, too.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, being more cognition of, like, it's so easy, too, in this American context where it's very individualistic, where it's like, oh, no, it's just me, it's just this. But it's always a community aspect to every person, that shapes
who
their
gonna
values.
watch the kids? Who gonna be around your kids?
Tight. Yeah.
You gotta make sure the people around your kids are valuable people. You know what I mean? All of that, man. Yeah, that family dynamic is real in marriage. Because me and my wife was married, and family a motherfucker. That's what I could sum it up to. For real, man. Yeah. On her end, man, we it was a lot of things getting clear now. Everything trying to fix, but it's a lot of broken stones and a lot of broken bridges that can't be fixed sometimes in families. And I feel like, man, the main concept I figured out as us going out when we be asking people, hey, what's going on in your family a lot? You know what their number one concept everybody keeps saying? It's in their top 5. Every time we name their top 5, it's in the top 5. Family is sweeping shit underneath the bridge. Like you said, your family was sweeping what? Mental illness underneath the bridge, you know what I mean? For years, nobody know what's going on. They just, it ain't shit, ain't nothing we can do about it. And just whoop, you know what I mean? And I think that's a big problem, man. and
sure.
and saying that, what you think your family biggest dysfunction is?
My family biggest dysfunction.
Your family, the most generational curse dysfunction. What you feel like is the biggest dysfunction in your family? And how you go and then give me one how you fixing it. For instance, I give you an example. One of my biggest dysfunctions I feel like in my family was father. Being a father. Motherfuckers ain't had no father. My daddy didn't have no father. His daddy didn't have no father. His daddy didn't have no father. And come to figure out, he told my granddaddy, who that be, my granddaddy, he wasn't in his life because his father wasn't in his life. I said, God damn, so a bunch of suckers. You know what I mean? So, I'm ending that dysfunction, man, by being a father. Right. You know what I mean? That's a small thing to me. A lot of people think that's a big thing. Yeah, it's a big thing, but I feel like it's a natural duty, a duty that I do because it's fucking love. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean? But that's just one. Like, you got one?
Yeah, for sure. You said what I feel like is my family's biggest dysfunction. Yeah, I say is I'll try to like do a 2-piece. Do 2-piece.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No biscuit.
Say, you feel me?
Let's get it.
I say is fear and suffering in silence. So I think allowing fear, because especially when it comes to like the mental condition my mom wrestled with, schizophrenia, is the paranoia coming from that, and then a lot of the fear that result from that, and then suffering in silence. I even learned from my brother, right? Situations that my father went through, that if we just talk to people about some things, you know what I mean? Yeah. So for so many things, so much weight that you can carry, and you don't tell anybody. Like I said, even early, like I usually don't expect people to understand what I go through or what I've been through. So the positive side is when I do still express it. Yeah. The negative side is when I still choose to suffer in silence. Yeah. Because it's so ingrained to not ask for help. And I feel like that's held us back so many times, where when I've experienced freedom, when I actually have expressed stuff, right? And that's why I say like bold music to fight fear. Like, to me, that's the music portion of it, and why I try to connect it to being bold is because so often what I've heard growing up was suffering in silence. Like, I'll never forget, man. I definitely love my pops, but it's just one situation that happened that, like, I think shaped me emotionally. Yeah. So I did something stupid, and I was about to be punished, right? I was getting disciplined, and I forget where I was at. I was with my sister, and he was like talking to us, saying what was about to happen, woo-de-woo. And I was like, I was trying to keep my composure. He's like, yeah, keep your head woo-de-woo. But I was fighting back tears. You could tell, I was like, when the kids like trying to like, you know what I'm saying? They clearly going through it. And I just broke down, and then he had sent me to my room because I had, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't hold it, keep it together. And I think that enough of those times where, also as a parent, like some things you do, you might not think about impacting my head. Like it might just be a small moment to him, you feel me? But situations like that happen a couple of different occasions kind of ingrained in my mind that me expressing emotions will lead to punishment. And so I need to isolate myself when I'm about to let loose. And when I can't hold it together, I need to leave the room because those can't be handled. Those will only lead to punishment. And I think in some ways it helped me because, when you go out in the world, like, the world does not care about your emotions. Like, kids at school don't care about it. You're saying law enforcement don't care about it. Teachers, some do, but at large, black boys' emotions, they're not cared about in a way that's like gentle and like, okay, what's going on? Like, so I think in some ways it helped me, but in also ways it hindered me to where even within like, even jumping back to the marriage relationship, where it was difficult for me to become empathetic and express, because my natural inclination when I'm feeling those emotions well up is that I'm gonna have to go isolate, or I'm gonna be punished because I'm letting loose, because I can't hold it together. So, and I think about times where it's like, yeah, situation where other family members are like, I can tell like they're wrestling, there's that turmoil within them emotionally and they don't want to let it out. I think it's just been ingrained in us to just suffer in silence. And so that's one of those things where when I try to, when I think about the second part of the question, how am I fighting against it? How am I doing things differently? I think that's why I try to make my mission as clear about, I want to fight that fear and create those spaces to facilitate that healing. To be that voice where it's like, man, yeah, bro. Like I said to do earlier, was like, yo, I heard that song. I just kept, you know what I'm saying? It kept coming out of me. I kept weeping. So it's like, I feel like those particular ways within like a creative sense, a business sense, is why I love my mission being on that. But then also within my life too, I just really just work to be as emotionally, not just intelligent, but like mature as I can. Because there's one thing to be like, okay, like I know I'm feeling this whoopty woo, but also there's a different level when it's like, okay, how am I going to be mature about conveying these emotions, expressing these emotions to somebody, and also allow them space to get feedback too. Because sometimes you can also be in a space where you let these emotions out and then you don't allow other people to even, you know what I'm saying, kind of get that feedback loop. Yeah. So like, oh, this also how it made me feel. Yeah. Or this, I remember y'all said at the podcast too, like using I statements. So a lot of people have those I statements.
Learn that from anger management.
Yeah.
Learn that from anger management. What you got going on right here though, man?
Oh yeah.
Like we already talking about it, man. Nothing business, just personal. Listen and party.
Yeah.
What we got going on right here?
Business just personal. So
I can't read out loud, but I can read good. I ain't the best out loud reading. I was one of them guys. I remember I was reading. See, my teacher had my back though. I remember I was reading in class one day. One of my guys said, like, damn, Ronnie, you sound like Gucci when you read. And everybody started laughing. She said he got one of the highest reading comprehensions though. I just got problem reading loud. So forget y'all, man. Don't be talking about me, man.
Busters.
Don't talk about him.
Talking about my cousin.
Nah, but what you got right here? Read it for him, because I couldn't.
He's wild. Yeah, I believe in you, man. I believe in you.
Me too.
I wasn't even playing up. I just let that there.
Nah, bro.
Yeah,
And you gotta let them know where you get your music and all that from. We're not ending it, though. I just want you.
So it's called Nothing Business. It's just personal.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. This project is really a compilation of my time in this business program called The Mastermind.
Yeah.
Actually, Sean was a part. I met Sean through. And it's just describing that. You know the phrase where people say like, "Oh, it's nothing personal. It's just business."
Yeah.
I just wanted to flip that on his head and be like, "Nah, it's nothing bit. Like everything I'm doing, it's just personal. Like it's a personal reason. This is my why." So at this night, I wanted to give a lot of the people that inspired me on a lot of the songs, and then also give them a platform to like talk. They talk. You feel me? Be like, yo, this is the reason I do what I do. And yeah, it's a lot of dope entrepreneurs, artists on the project. It came together in like a month and a half type situation. Like it's I you know how I always say it all the time, but I think it's my best work. I definitely think it's my best work today. And I started producing a lot over this past year, so I produced like 80% of the project. It was a fun time. So
that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, man.
That's a beautiful, bold thing to be a part of, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. Nothing business and personal.
Yeah, that's right.
That resonates with Lineage and what too.
I say that all the time, man. This is I say that all the time. Look, this thing. People always say business not personal, but listen, bro. When you get business, what do you do with the money? You pay your personal you pay for your personal needs, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You pay for your living, you pay for your food, you pay for everything. So how the hell is business not personal, bro? You start fucking around with my business and playing with my money, bro. I'm personally going to get affected. So what you mean don't take this personal, bro? This going to be personal with me, man. I'm one of those people cuz
facts.
tell
No,
me,
that's facts.
You get in the business to create generational wealth,
man.
right? That's what most people do. It's like generational wealth. Those are your genes. It's your people. So if you messing with what I got going on, then that affects me personally, and then it affects my lineage too. So like that whole flip, how you flip the script with the title of that, bro.
Yeah, that's dope.
Thank you.
For real.
First and foremost, thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
People need to take heed to that message
Real talk.
and flip the script. I love that, bro. But we flipping the script as Lineage Leaders.
Yeah, that's
On this
exactly.
podcast
Yeah,
and
y'all
outside
do
of the
that.
studio too.
Yeah, action brand, baby. A
We
real
do.
action
We do.
brand, for real, man.
We all do. Everybody in this room. Straight up. I want to ask you this, Rome. Very, very personal question, bro.
Very, very personal.
Is Rome single? is Rome looking for somebody to lead his lineage with?
Rome is single and slightly mingling. You feel
Oh,
me?
God!
Why he here with the slightly? He ain't with the full slightly.
Well, you know, I'm always I am looking for
Tiptoeing.
somebody to lead my lineage for sure. You feel me? I am definitely, you know, for me too. I wanted to. Well, this shit. I guess this. You want me to dive in further?
Shit, why not?
Yeah,
you don't know who watching, brother. You know what I mean? Y'all click, elaborate.
So I feel like I wanted to make sure I was in a better spot. So it's been like I was saying, it's been 2 years since I was divorced, right? And I didn't want to just be like a rebound situation. I almost got into something like that. I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel right. But I feel like I'm definitely in the spot, and I've done some therapy. I've been on chill, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely more in the spot now to where I feel open to something. Of course, you never know when you start getting something like some of that trauma might still resist. But yeah, I'm definitely looking to lead my lineage. So if you out there, you know what I'm saying, let's go ahead and lead a lineage. You feel me? Let's go ahead and lead one.
Make a family tree, y'all.
Make a family tree, you know what I'm saying? Let's make a family tree.
Talking about leading lineage and making a family tree, man, I ask people this from time to time, man. What's the morals and values and principles? The MVPs, I call it the MVPs. What's the morals and values and principles of your foundation you gonna lay down for your family?
Yeah, so I say it's a couple key components that general characteristics, right?
Yeah.
It's humility, honor, not humility, hunger, empathy, integrity, and then hunger, right? So humility, because, you know, you just got to be humble. You don't know everything, right? You got to have integrity because it's not, I say it's different from honesty because integrity is like who you are when nobody's looking and how you talk about people when they're not in the room. You know what I mean? And then you got to have empathy because empathy is a key component to connecting with somebody else, right? Without empathy, like, you're not gonna have longevity. And then I say hunger because you always gotta remain on a path, on the journey. And then I say honesty because you just gotta be open too. So I feel like honesty is different from integrity though, because honesty is something that you do with others, but integrity is something that's gotta be internal. So those are like my key like overarching ones that when I think about like the family traits I love about my family and then the traits that I look for in any relationships I have, those are like my key components. But then there's a tier of my faith in Jesus informs like, because my transformation experience when I was like 13 years old, I had this encounter with God. at this church camp, and my whole life was just rocked. And I just realized, man, like this is the rock I want to build my life upon. So the way Jesus lived, the way he taught, the way he treated people, and that's like what I've just built my foundation upon. So when I think about both his teaching, then also the Bible, what he holds in and kind of not contrast, but that's not the word I'm looking for. But he holds together with it. So I filter things through that biblical lens and through the lens of Jesus. Like I'm one of the people like, what would Jesus do in this situation, and how am I representing Jesus to other people? And the thing that made it difficult for me is because I feel like it's so cultural now, like Christianity, and there's so many abuses that happen within church expressions to where it's a lot of distrust people have. So while I seek to, I don't distance myself, but I seek to reframe some of the practices of organized religion. I'm a part of a church, but so it's not like I distance myself from church bodies and the good churches can do. But I think oftentimes the traditions that have been passed on can push people out and not allow people to like explore, freely be themselves, express, you know what I mean? Have doubts, wrestle. So it's like those aspects of character are high on my list of like, okay, I want to create a mission or a family full of humility, honesty, integrity, empathy, hunger. You know what I mean? I want that to be like the deal when people say interact. It's like, oh man, this person was really like genuine. You feel me? And then, okay, what does this person believe in? Oh, he's gonna talk some of that Jesus talk eventually when I talk to him. Yeah. And the principles that come from the Bible he's gonna be talking about. And then that tier of, I think I would say my third tier is like, man, just being somebody that's, I say my life mission, right, is to be with God and boldly proclaim truth and justice, creatively initiating mercy. So being somebody that's boldly proclaiming truth and justice, specifically within the family narrative I've been given, like to prioritize Black people, Black families, Black liberation. And then that other tier though of like, how can I be creative in initiating mercy to people so that they can experience? Because, you know, sometimes when people tell you the truth to you, it can hurt. It can sting. You know what I mean?
The truth hurt, bro.
The truth hurts really hard.
That's why only certain people like me, because I'm a truth teller.
Yeah.
I tell the truth all the time, bro. Like, man, you tell the truth too much, man. You can, hey, I don't believe in that, man. And that's another thing, though. I like that, because with your morals and values and principles, how I go with people is, man, because I'm not, like, I'm going to tell you the truth right here. I don't believe in Jesus. I'm not no type of religion believer. What I believe in, people don't understand, so I don't got time to even talk about it no more. But I don't believe in none of that. But what I do believe in is this: when a community has a community, it's different individuals in that community. But as long as everybody has morals, values, and principles, I don't give a damn what you believe in, bro. As long as your morals and values and principles match mine, I don't care what you believe in, who you pray to. I don't give a damn if you pray to the devil, bro. But as long as when you pray to that devil, if his morals and values and principles, I'm for real, bro. If his morals and values and principles are up to a higher stature of life, I'm not going to judge you. You know what I mean? Now, if it's some fucked up shit, of course. But if it's somebody who got very good high standards of morals and values and principles, I don't give a fuck who you praying to, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I don't give a fuck if you praying to the devil. As long as you got morals, values, and principles high, shit, bro, we can kick it. You know what I mean? And that's how and you know, a lot of people probably be like, man, they bring a lot of Christians to they podcast, and I ain't even Christian. You know what I mean? I don't know what cuz believe in, but you know, I speak for myself. I speak for myself, man. You know, if somebody asks me what I do, I go by the 42 laws of my God. You feel me? That's what I do. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, I just said that because, man, I see a lot of times, man, this conflicts people. You know what I mean? people feel like they gotta we all vegan, so we all gotta be vegan. Everybody can't you can't be in my community if you're not a vegan, bro. They can't be in your circle. They probably can't come to your house. Yeah, but they part of the community, bro. Yeah. It's all this vegan community, Christian community, bro. We all black. It's a black community, and it's some of y'all motherfuckers who believe in this, and some of y'all who eat this, and some of y'all, why we keep saying, oh, this type of community? Nah, bro, we the black community. And we a group. We need to start putting this group or something. It's not a community. We're a subdivision or something. We keep that's separating ourselves, saying, "Hey, this is the community. Sure. Yeah, this is the vegan community. We're part of the vegan. I'm part of the Christian community. I'm part of that's blocking your knowledge you can get. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For real.
A lot of lost connections.
A lot of lost connections, a lot of different connections you missing, a lot of different understandings, man. I met somebody from Sri Lanka, and they taught me a lot, bro. I met somebody from Sri Lanka around 2017, 18. Bro, they was telling me a lot. And I was like, damn. It really opened up my mind. He was just telling me, expressing me like how it was different here, the food, the chocolate, how... I looked it up. He wasn't lying. The Sri Lankans, how they came up with chocolate and all that. I'm like, God damn, they really got the coca tree and all that there. And I'm just like, amazed, bro. I'm like, damn, bro, like how they government gives them like, hey, this is your land over here. We're going to see you and your family. Y'all can build over here. And they got like he said, his family house was made by his grandpa and him, and then like by the whole family. When they wanted to add stuff on there, they just cut some trees off and all that, and just build it. Like, and the stuff looks nice. It don't look like no tree houses. Like what it looked like here, man. And that and one thing people don't understand, us community. I bet you all those people, they not separating themselves in subdivisions, man. If you look at thriving communities, they don't keep separating themselves in subdivisions, man. So that's why I always bring Christians on here and everything, because I peep game. I saw everything you did, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, bro, I fucks with your vibe, heavy, you know what I mean? I probably, you know, like what you be saying, I take, and that's what I told somebody else on Facebook. I told them to do this. What you say, right? I take it and I resonate with my understanding. I take that and I take your high vibrations that you giving and I put it with my understanding in life. You know what I mean? When you give everything to yourself, I be like, he ain't lying. I agree. You know what I mean? So the other day I posted about being in a great marriage and da-da-da, you get to know yourself and all that. Somebody gonna say, not marriage, healthy relations. I told them simply, listen, healthy relationships, marriage, however you want to put your word in, whatever it fits to you, it applies the same message. And that's what a lot of people not understanding, man. It's the same message, bro. It's the same message you giving, the same message a Muslim brother came and sat there and gave, same atheist came and sat there, all about peace, love, regrowing and connecting and knowing yourself. All of it is the same message, bro. We just not hearing it. We just too blinded by the subdivisions. I don't know what made me say that, y'all.
It's very easy to divide
what made me say that?
When you're in your own spaces.
Mid-episode. Mid-episode. I don't know what made me say that.
It's very easy to divide.
Yeah.
And not build those bridges, because it comes back to it. There's fear, right? Mm-hmm. It's easy to live in fear of what you don't understand.
Agreed.
And I mean, I don't think it's ever a problem when people disagree. I feel like when we feel like our disagreements allow us or prevent us from having empathy. That's why I say high level empathy has to be at the core, because even if you're on a whole different page, like for me, honestly, if you pray to the devil, I'm probably gonna have a lot of questions for you, because I want to know about the devil. Because you know, in history, the devil means a lot of things that's evil.
Yeah,
but it's not gonna prevent me from engaging with you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, okay, like let's try to find some common ground, see where we can politic, and then if there's some things I can't persuade you on, something you can't persuade me on, we can still find ways to co-labor and coexist. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, how can we not cut off? It's so easy to cut off people versus, okay, how will we build bridges into worlds? So, yeah, I mean, definitely to your point, it's you know, people thrive off of conflict and division and drama.
Yeah, especially us, man. You see, I always say this. You see an African come off the boat, the black community treat him different. You see a European, you see a European come off the boat, bro, the white community, what's up? He blends in, bro. He get to looking just like them. You wouldn't even know he came off the boat, bro. You'll be like, ain't no fucking way, bro. Yeah, bro. You from Europe? Yeah, man. From Europe. Oh, damn. So you not white? No, I'm not American way. I'm Europe. You be like, damn, I ain't even know.
They love their accent too.
Yeah, bro. But
that speaks to the disconnect that we have from our own original indigenous culture, whether it be in Americas or in Africa.
Yeah, we from everywhere, but shit, we be
because we the original people.
Yeah,
we be disrespecting it.
Yeah,
we the original people. You see the brand.
You see,
make sure y'all cop some of that. The original people.
You know,
that's my cousin and his white brand. I'm rocking it. You feel me? Because we lead.
There you go, support.
Yeah, it's a family. It's a family. Everything is family. You
Absolutely.
Know what I mean?
Man, let me ask you this, Rome. Like as in closing, right?
Oh dang, we already
in closing. Oh yeah, brother. We hungry,
quick,
brother.
man. I felt like I had 15 minutes of fame, man. Felt different. Oh, the Lineage Leader podcast.
No, we've been in here probably for an hour now.
Absolutely.
It just don't be feeling like it.
Yeah. It don't, because we be
I see why y'all do this, man.
We just be chilling, having conversations, chopping it up, bro. So in closing, though, when you look at the last name Herbert, right? What do you want your family legacy to be?
That's a great question.
Oh, thank you, bro. That's what we attempted to ask a great question.
Yeah, you do it. You do it.
I appreciate that, bro.
The attempt is attempting. When I think about the last name Herbert, you know, I actually considered changing it a couple times. When I dug and I realized it was German. I realized it stemmed from a German.
Yeah, my last name German too.
I said,
we all in the same boat.
I started reading some Malcolm and all that, so I see why they did change the names. You feel me? Yeah, I think at the end of the day, man, I wanted to reflect love. I wanted to.
I like that.
Yeah, when I think about even my family before me, like with all the issues that we face and all like those traits I listed before, I think there's always been this humility. There's been this strong work ethic of hunger, but also like integrity, honesty, and empathy. So it's really just trying to leave a legacy of, man, it was always bigger than me, you know? And that's why I love music, because I used to love, I fell in love with music a lot more too when it wasn't as much about the content creator. I would say, like, I miss kind of being able to just hear somebody without knowing who they were. Yeah. And just like, oh, this resonates. So that's kind of how I feel like I want my legacy to be. It's like, man, I like hearing a song and it's like, man, this is powerful. This is deep. This connects with me, but I don't know this person. I don't know what they look like. I don't know where they from. I don't know what they did. But I know this piece inspires me. So I think when I think about my legacy, I just want to be somebody that, despite all the adversity, like, they come across my story, my narrative, or pieces of the results of my descendants, and they think, man, I can live another day. I don't know about next week. I don't know about next fight. I don't know if the world gonna be up in smoke, but we gonna be able to make it another second because we encountered these people.
I love that, brother. Thank you for sharing that. That's powerful, bro. Very profound as well. Family, man, we appreciate your opportunity.
Peace.
Ain't no better way.
Tipping ain't easy, baby.
Shout out to Rome for
Honorary Clark,
blessing us with his presence tonight, man.
Appreciate you, baby. I'm about to give me some to eat, baby.
Learned a lot, brother.
No,
make sure y'all support this brother too.
Make sure, let them know. Let them know where they can. Let them know again where they can get everything.
Oh, so definitely tap in with me on my website, romeherbert.com. Then I'm also on Instagram, rome.herbert. I'm on all streaming platforms under Rome Herbert. And my number is 317. You're not getting it. But Nah, for real though. If you want to tap in, I love you. I'm grateful. I'm glad you came across this platform. And yeah, honestly, just hit me up. Like I'm not super closed off. If you come across this and you like, man, I really resonate anything I said. If you're going through it, like you're in the midst of life and feel like it's beating you down, you need somebody to call. Like hit me up, like real talk, and I'm a reach back to you.
Absolutely. Ain't no better way to end it than that, brother. Rome, thank you.
About to get this picture, man. Look. Then I'm about to go home and get some food, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm on my fast today.
Shout out to Leon. He in the back. Shout out to Cub.
Absolutely.
What you want me to call you, Cub? Cause I keep calling you Leon. You know, when you family, you call your family by their real name. You don't be calling. What you want me to tell him? Call him Lee. He said, "God damn it, don't be calling Cub Leon when you see him in public."
Absolutely. Well, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, man, make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your mama, your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, your little brother, your little sister, and your cousins.
We on her.
Lead yourself so you can lead your lineage.
Her, man.
Until next time, y'all.
We out of here, please. We out of here. I done made an inside video in the video. That was dope. I'm going to start doing that, cuz. You got to see the ending. I'm damn near going to show this at the end, cuz. I'm going to switch it to this. Look at this.